Welcome back to Simple Stats for STEM. In our last video on chi-square analysis, we looked at a 2x2 contingency table that works for two categorical variables, and we were looking at math enjoyment comparing males and females, and we found a statistically significant difference between enjoyment of math for males and females, with females having a higher enjoyment of mathematics, statistically speaking, than males. And so that was our last analysis. And it was a little bit of a lengthy analysis because we walked through how to do so in Google Sheets. And part of that was just because the math takes a little bit of time to set up. So this could all be done by hand or using formulas, but I'm going to show you a method real quick that will give us the same output and the same chi-square statistic, but using one of my favorite websites. And I've used it in some other videos, but the website is socialsciencestatistics.com, SOCSCI statistics.com. So we're going to jump over to this site, and I'm going to show you how all this can be done in about 1 minute or less with just the values here. Notice we also did a little graphical chart here to kind of give some idea of what the data looks like in an overall picture. But I'm going to jump over to Social Science Statistics, and on this site I'm going to go over here to Calculators. I'm going to use a chi-square 2x2 contingency table right here. Chi-square calculator for 2x2. That means we have two variables, and in our case it is male and female, and then enjoyment and unenjoyment. And so we're going to choose the 2x2. A chi-square can be used for many different variables. You saw a 5x5 there. And here is the formula which we did in the contingency table right here. We did all that's in the formula, so it can be done by hand or using formulas, but this website is a calculator in and of itself, and so it's going to do all that math for us. So let's go to the calculator, and all I have to do on this calculator is fill in some values here, and these are going to be the values off of my sheet over here, the observed and expected values for these groupings. So let's set this up real quick, and I'm going to, over here for group 1, I'm going to call this my enjoyment group. And down here, I'll call this my unenjoyment group. And then I'll have males, and I'll have females. So this is going to do all of that math for us, and it's a beautiful thing. It's not even to show all the tables or anything. It's just going to do it. So we're going to select Next. And then all we have to do is enter in our observed values. These are the values that we collected by giving a survey or by asking kids what they think of math. And so for my males, for my observed enjoyment for males over on the other sheet was 17. And then, oops, I hit enter. I should have. It's going to give me an error. I need to come down here and give the males who said that they did not enjoy, and that was 16. Females who said they enjoy math, that was 22. And then there were 7 who said they did not care for math. So those are, again, just these values from here, 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 and here. I also put them in this column right there, but I just have to enter those in. So it's just a matter of collecting that data and popping it in here. And we'll hit Next. And it's going to ask us what our significance level is. In our case, it's 0.05. I want to have less than a 5% chance of being correct on that null. And so if I get a finding that's less than this, I can reject the null hypothesis and say that there is a difference, statistically speaking. It's always good to check your numbers here one more time just to make sure everything adds up right. But then we're going to calculate the chi-square. And here it's going to give us the output. And you'll notice that these values right here, these are the expected values and the chi-square statistics for each of these categories. They're the same numbers we have right down in here, in these expected areas, and then the chi-square values right in here. So you'll see that those are the same valuations. This is just done all the work for us. And here's our chi-square statistic. It's the same one that we found. Here's the p-value right there, and a reminder that the result is significant. So I'm just going to grab this information right here, and I'm going to jump back over here to my sheet, and I will just paste that in there. And that's really all the information I need. There's the chi-square statistic that reminds us that we had the same value right here. It matches right there. The p-value is the same. The result is significant, less than 0.05. So using social science statistics can be much quicker. It's valuable to understand the math behind all these things and to know why it works, and it gives you a little bit more appreciation. But that website right there is pretty handy for finding that outcome, and then I can continue talking about it, and I can say there is a statistically significant difference in math enjoyment between males and females, and here is the data to prove that claim. So that's how we run a chi-square analysis, a 2x2 contingency chi-square using social science statistics.